There we go. Hey guys, it's Heather here, back with another one. Gotta love these TikTok conspiracy roulette things here. Um, I'll make sure and not shut out of the app this time so I can leave all the links down the bottom. Last time I forgot and hit X, and of course you can't get back to all the ones you watched previously, so um, I'll definitely make sure I do that this time. So if you want to refer to them or share them and stuff like that, you can find them easily. All right, well, here we go.
Universe where everything has to eat something else in order to survive.
For 25 years, Linda Moulton Howe kept a secret that was never hers to keep. Navy officers, NORAD personnel, military contractors, one by one, they called her on their deathbeds and described the same thing. Something massive, something ancient, something engineered, buried beneath the Antarctic ice.
Mainstream geologists have long believed that ancient humans never settled on Antarctica because of its hostile climate. But incredibly, satellite images revealed a curious formation emerging from the ice.
They made her promise not to speak. Then they died. And Linda watched their names disappear until she was the last person alive holding every piece of this story. That's when she made the decision that terrified her more than the secret itself. She went public, looked into a camera, and said, "Before I die, I must tell the truth, because if I stay silent, this dies with me." What these men encountered in Antarctica, what they saw over a mile beneath the ice, is something no government has ever denied. No denial, not once. And it all starts with a man on a ridge in 1982, staring at something that should not exist. The man on the ridge. Before we get to what Linda revealed, you need to know who she is, because that's what makes this dangerous. Linda Moulton Howe is not a conspiracy theorist. She is an Emmy Award-winning investigative journalist. 4 decades interviewing military personnel, scientists, government officials. She built her career on verified credentials, corroborated sources, and documented evidence. And for 25 years, dying men kept calling her because she was the only person they trusted to tell the world what they saw. It started in 1982. A Navy flight engineer, whose identity Linda has protected to this day, was running a routine supply mission from McMurdo Station to a remote research camp deep in the Antarctic interior. Somewhere over the ice sheet, an equipment malfunction forced the crew to set down on an exposed ridge, wind hammering the fuselage so hard the metal screamed. Temperatures brutal enough to burn exposed skin in seconds. The kind of place where you fix what's broken and you leave. Nobody lingers. But while the crew worked repairs, the flight engineer looked out across the ridge, and he froze. Shapes on the horizon, geometric, symmetrical, too regular, too angular, too precise to be ice. He moved closer, close enough to see what looked like the top of a massive structure, partially exposed where wind and time had stripped the ice away. Angular, solid, made of something that was clearly not natural. Before he could reach it, the radio crackled. Return to McMurdo. Immediately. No explanation. When they landed, intelligence officers were already waiting.
Why are we in a universe where everything has to eat?
Watch this now before they take it down. They are actively trying to hide this video from you. I used to be a grid engineer. I am risking my life to show you what I was paid to hide. This is the simple plan for a tool that creates free electricity. This is a real thing. This will provide energy for your whole home. They will lose millions when this gets out. Your monthly power bill is the largest fraud in history. You are paying for electricity that is fundamentally free. They have you trapped, worried, and poor by design. This is your only way to escape. In 30 seconds, this video might be gone forever. The technology uses a unique electromagnetic trick. You take two coils and wind them in a specific pattern on an iron core. You then pulse a small amount of energy from a battery into the system. The resulting magnetic collapse creates a power spike 1,000 times larger than the input. It is a free energy multiplier. You capture that surge. It powers your home and it recharges the small battery. It is a closed, self-sustaining loop. It is large enough to run an entire house. This is the technology they hid 100 years ago. They will tell you I am insane. They will tell you it is a hazard. They are lying to protect their empire. They want you weak. They want you to stay dependent. Do not let them win. Imagine your power meter ripped off the wall of your house. Imagine never fearing a blackout again. This is your one and only warning. The full uncensored plans are on a private website. The link is in my bio. Click it now while it is still there. This will be the last time you see this. Go. Watch this now before they take it down. They are actively trying to hide this video from you.
My name is Rhiannon. I live in so just a few miles from where this data center is going to be put up. And I also did not know that this was happening until 2-3 weeks ago, which is interesting because I'm all over this issue. First thing I just wanted to know is if anybody in my community here tonight is in support of a data center in Cumberland County. Also interesting to me, I want to read some quotes from some people who live in communities that have already put up data centers. Quote, I've been here 81 years. I can't stay here. Quote, my mom has been here her whole life, 82 years. She's not happy about it, but she does want to leave. Quote, my neighbor was washing my clothes and messed up a whole load of whites because it came out stained from that brown water. A conversation between a journalist and a resident. Do you feel like it's safe to drink? No, I buy water. Have they addressed that? No, they haven't. Have you gotten any information at all? No, none at all. Quote, this is my water pressure in my kitchen, a trickle. Quote, this is where I fill my buckets to flush my toilet. Quote, I can't breathe at home. It smells like gas outside. Quote, you know when you light your stove and the gas seeps with that little ticking noise? That's what it smells like. Quote, my electric and gas bill is more than my car payment. Quote, the light pollution is we don't have to have a night light in the house. You can walk around the house at night and see everything. It's that bright. And my favorite quote, a lawyer for Microsoft, quote, Nobody really wants a data center in their backyard. I don't want a data center in my backyard. Data centers, once they're operational, don't bring a lot of jobs. So, how do data centers impact communities? Jobs, a few dozen specialized jobs, usually hiring remotely. Electric, bill increases, extreme added burden on the grid. Air quality, increased ER visits due to asthma, COPD, and other breathing issues. Water, loss of water pressure in homes, water tainted with sediment, unsafe to drink, aquifer strain, which, by the way, South Jersey already has issues with our aquifer due to overusage and multiple years of droughts in the summer. Cumberland County is the poorest county in New Jersey. This isn't happening to help our county. It's happening to take advantage of our county. These data centers are only popping up in the poorest communities in our countries because the wealthy people do not want them. They make people sick, they steal our resources, water pollution, air pollution, noise and light pollution, and what do we get in return? Because it ain't jobs.
So,
Three counties in Indiana have put a moratorium on building data centers. Several in Georgia, Missouri, Illinois, Arizona, across the country. Communities are protecting themselves from this poison. Are we going to allow it in Cumberland County? I want to ask the council, where will you go when the water stops flowing out of your faucets? Where will you go? Where will you go when the air smells like gas and makes you sick? Will you look around for a community whose leaders had the spine to say no to these billionaires? Or will you stay in Cumberland County and offer your children what is left of it to inherit? Thank you.
I'm gonna go find that. Find it. I will. 1 second. If you like my content, by the way, but hate how it lags out, it's because I have a horrible little laptop that I'm using. But I am trying to raise funds. I'll leave my buy me a coffee link down in the description because I really want to update and be able to really do some deep dives and stuff like that. But I have no.
You want to talk about crazy pedophilia? I remember seeing these tweets and being so disturbed by them. Listen to this.
Ability to, with this, this silly laptop. So.
What about human baby meat? RT, what should I eat for dinner? I am thinking pasta, and I don't even know who that's to. Then another one. Joke, how many clowns does it take to screw in a light bulb? 12. 1 to screw it in, and 11 to kidnap and chew on human babies. This is a huge sitcom, one of the biggest in the last decade. Here's another one from the same person. I drained the blood out of a goth kid. Does that make me a goth by proxy? Little concerned this morning found blood by my urine. Well, not my urine, the baby urine I wash my hair with. This is Rainn Wilson, one of the main characters on The Office. You want to talk about crazy pedophilia?
Yo, I'm starting to realize the people that like went to college and all of that and basically were force fed this narrative, they're the hardest people to get through to when you awaken. It's like whatever they were taught, it makes them stuck in a low vibration. So when you're in a higher vibration speaking to them, they're like, you're crazy. And it's like nothing you say, no matter how many supporting details, no matter how many footnotes, no matter how many motherfucking screenshots, and they don't care. You will not shatter their reality. They are stuck in the matrix. And that's what I'm realizing. Oh, they want a bunch of fools with degrees running around so that the darkness has the freedom to operate, but everybody with this degree in their head, they think, I'm so smart, nothing can touch me. Whole time they being fucking used. They don't even know they operating through life in the darkness. Oh man, it's pathetic.
You connect to
Truly designed to kill the greatest loophole the American working class ever had, the salvage yard. For decades, if you smashed the tail light on your truck, you drove down to the local junkyard, handed the guy $50, pulled a tail light off a wrecked truck, and plugged it into yours. You saved hundreds of dollars, and the truck looked good as new. Try that on a modern truck. If you back a 2026 Silverado or an F-150 into a pole and shatter the blind spot radar module tucked inside that taillight, you cannot just buy a used one from a junkyard. The plastic housing is fine, but that radar module is digitally handcuffed to the truck's main computer. If you plug a used radar module into your truck, the master computer interrogates it. It asks for the microchip's password. The module broadcasts the vehicle identification number of the wrecked truck it came from. Your truck's computer sees that the vehicle identification numbers do not match, and it immediately bricks the component. A warning light flashes on your dash, and your cross-traffic system is dead. The part is perfectly functional, but the automaker's software refuses to let you use it. To make that junkyard part work, you have to tow your truck to the dealership, pay a $200 diagnostic fee, and pay the service technician to connect his laptop to the corporate server and perform a software flash to rewrite the module. individual. He is literally just typing in a password to give your truck permission to use a part you already bought with your own money. And in some cases, the manufacturers refuse to flash used parts at all, forcing you to buy a blank virgin microchip directly from the dealership parts counter at a 500% markup. They have monopolized the repair market by making used parts digitally radioactive. It does not stop at electronics. They are coming for your brakes. Changing brake pads is something fathers used to teach their sons on a Saturday afternoon. You take the wheel off, remove the caliper, and use a C-clamp and a block of wood to push the hydraulic piston back into the housing so the new, thicker pads will fit. Look at the rear wheels of a new truck today. The mechanical emergency brake cable is gone. It has been replaced by an electronic parking brake. There's a massive plastic electric motor bolted directly to the back of the brake caliper. To change your own rear brake pads today, you need to command the truck's computer to enter maintenance mode. Again, no button, just another hidden sequence of pedals and switches to digitally wind those motors back. If you don't know the secret code, or if you accidentally use a C-clamp like your dad taught you, you will shatter the internal gears instantly. A $50 driveway brake job just became a $600 dealership nightmare. They will tell you this is all for your own good. They will say it is for safety or efficiency or security against theft. Do not believe them for a second. It is about ensuring that the dealership's service bay is the only place your truck can ever go. The automakers realized that the real money is not in selling you a truly designed to kill.
They know you won't notice. This is episode 8 of a series I do where I explain the unforgivable shit big food companies are putting in our food. Here's a new one for you. It gained full FDA approval and hits the market this coming Monday as a natural color additive produced by Israeli tech company Phytolon. The ingredient is none other than beetroot red. If it sounds like it's just juice from beets, don't be mistaken because it isn't. As a matter of fact, it doesn't even contain beets, just a small sliver of DNA. I encourage you to dig into the details and read the comments at regulations.gov. Search for this docket. It received heavy opposition from the public, but was granted approval anyway, even with only a 90-day safety study on rats. Here's how Phytolon makes it according to the FDA's final ruling. It starts by inserting a specific beet DNA sequence into baker's yeast. This is called precision fermentation. The yeast is then put into stainless steel tanks and fed sugars and minerals. With its new DNA instructions, it now knows how to secrete the red pigment. Once the tanks are full of red liquid, they have to separate it from the yeast. Then only the red dye remains. But a liquid red dye alone is highly perishable and requires a carrier agent. The most common carrier agents for this purpose are maltodextrin and gum arabic, both of which I have covered in this very series. But you won't see the carrier agent listed on the ingredient label because the FDA considers it an incidental additive and therefore it is exempt from disclosure. Even through all this, if manufacturers choose to use beetroot red as their coloring agent, they can make the claim "no artificial colors" on the front of the package. I have a hard time hearing any argument supporting food dyes because here's a wild idea. How about we grow the up and stop coloring our food? I hope this brings you a bit more clarity as to what's in our foods. Like and follow if you want to see more of this series.
Can't handle a parallel realm that's living amongst us. And if your eyes were open and you saw what's all around us and you saw why your family freaks out and why you don't understand yourself, if you saw all this parallel world, that's why God hid it. He caused the realms to be separated so that we can't see the spirit realm, and unless the Spirit of God allows us to see into that realm. So if you want to know what's going on in this country, you have to be able to handle the fact that in Genesis chapter 6, Satan, the only way he could hijack the human race was to get into their genetics and to interbreed and then get human beings to disqualify themselves because they weren't fully human. Okay, so now in the Nimrod days, Nimrod was one of these hybrids. He was like Goliath. It says he was a Hagaborum, the mighty one, just like Goliath was. And when he came into power, it says that he was a mighty hunter before the Lord, is what it says in King James. Well, that's wrong. It says he was a hunter of man. He was a hunter of men. He built walled cities to keep men in. He was Satan himself. This is Antichrist. Nimrod is the Antichrist spirit. So he became Gilgamesh. He escaped to Ur, and so God called Abraham out of Ur and made a nation against this Antichrist spirit. Why is nobody saying any of this? So Gilgamesh was Nimrod. Nimrod was deified. He was a mason. He was a mason. He built the Tower of Babel. He was the first mason. He his initial, Gilgamesh, G, in his symbol. Mystery Babylon, as the book of Revelation says. So I don't understand why there's all these controversies and why people are fighting each other. It's just pretty plain to me. And Mystery Babylon is a mystery for one reason. We need to get out of diapers and get rid of bottles before we can handle this kind of stuff. Whether your first degree or 33rd degree, and if there's a 34th degree like former presidents, then I don't know. But it doesn't matter. It's all wrong. It's all part of this, of the plan of Satan to take over the earth completely by entrapping human beings. The only reason that you're not entrapped is because you believe in Jesus Christ and he bought you. Amen. Okay. You can't handle.
Remember how this looks. Here's another one. Last one. Now, what does that look like to you? It just looks so familiar to me. Could it be? It looks oddly similar to this. Space is in the ocean. No one can tell me differently. Before we get into this video, I'm gonna let Natalie Nunn give you your tinfoil hat, because without a tinfoil hat, you're gonna think this is insane. I know I gotta say my intro. People are not scared enough of the ocean, and I'm here to fix that. Welcome back to another episode of Why I Stay on Land, where I give you some self-inflicted thalassophobia right before bed. I am filming it in the day to give y'all a little break. Hopefully this doesn't pop up on your For You page at night, because I'm not just talking about the science of the ocean. Like, there's so much unknown about the ocean that makes it scary. Like, for example, this is alleged, but allegedly NASA was exploring the ocean before they explored space. Whole time, space is really I know how the Bible says the waters above and the waters below. Yeah, we're in a firmament. I'm going to tell you right now, the moment Congress said, oh, there's a presence in the ocean, and oh, UAPs, and oh, looks like the aliens that we just told y'all are real. Oh, they actually come from the ocean. Those aliens are demons. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. Like, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. We're getting biblical with it, because I'm a follower of Jesus, if y'all don't know that. Y'all remember when Jesus cast the demons out of that man? They begged to go in the pigs, and then the pigs ran where? Into the water. The Bible literally says on the new earth, when Jesus comes back, there will be no sea. Why is that? In the Bible, the sea is literally always equated to chaos and just negativity. The Bible speaks about the
happened, and I'm referring to Nimrod, who some scholars also identify as Gilgamesh of Sumerian fame, Apollo of Greek fame, Osiris of Egyptian fame, and this Gilgamesh was a giant who a lot of people didn't even believe was anything more than myth until his grave marker was found a few years back. And then, according to some people, the military swooped in and took possession and control of that dig.
Hey, Tom, I want to interject something. I talked to a special operations general who validated that, and his words were he was in a state of remarkable preservation, okay? He said they have Gilgamesh's remains. So if they have Gilgamesh and he is Nimrod, they got it. And the whole point was to extract the DNA. And I've also been told that the whole point, and this is germane to what we're talking about, of the Human Genome Project is to locate specific genetic markers for the disembodied spirits to reanimate their host body that's brought back.
Interesting that the U.S. military started its military occupation phase of Iraq 1 month later. We all know we went into Iraq under false pretenses, right? They told us weapons of mass destruction, right? They said that we didn't find weapons of mass destruction, but I have a feeling we found the weapon of mass destruction, and we set up shop there immediately after that and established 500 military bases in the largest embassy of any other embassy on the entire planet in Babylon. Interesting.
How crazy that I watched this last night and this morning, and I had no idea he said that. And I said that yesterday, like maybe they were actually looking for the weapon of mass destruction. And this is almost the only thing that makes sense. We are constantly being lied to about what we are doing. What the heck are we doing talking about Greenland? What is going on right now? Why does it seem like the elites are running some race against time almost? What's going on in Ukraine, actually? I've heard that even that could be ancient in terms of what they are trying to get and what they are trying to find. We need to actually pay attention. The elites are focused on something that has nothing to do with what we are being sold. And I very much believe this because we see Peter Thiel, who is like dead focused on discussing the Antichrist all the time. Are we supposed to believe that he's a faithful Christian? What is his interest in the Antichrist? Why are they obsessed with wanting to create life artificially, right? This push and the marketing toward IVF. Yes, of course, it can be a sensitive subject.
2003.
Right. It's getting scary out there, guys. Well, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. But remember to do the whole like